You might think you know the story of Hyrule in Tears of the Kingdom. But what if I told you the next game, Age of Imprisonment, is doing more than just giving us a prelude to the war that started it all? What if it's planting the answers to the mysteries we still feel in Tears of the Kingdom? Today I'm going to show you 3 little clues that may rewrite how we see our heroes, the sages, the allies, and those lurking in the shadows, and how all of them could be part of a planned millennia in the making. First, let's talk about the sages. No, not those sages. Get back to the 90s where you belong. Your day will come whenever Nintendo decides to break the glass to the vault and are out of new ideas and need some quick rupees. Until then, I'm talking about these sages. You'll see their names and think they're just new characters. Kia, Rafika, Artie, Agriston. But dig into the etymology, and these names aren't random at all. A huge thanks to a birdie that whispered this information in my ear.
Lady Kuko.
Be sure to check out her awesome theories, as she is a much wiser sage than me when it comes to Zelda lore. Link to her page in the description. That being said, there is more than meets the eye when it comes to these names, and I think some already know, but in case you don't let me catch you up to speed. Kia, similar to Millicomania, a fossil from the Cambrian era, one of the earliest fish-like vertebrates. Rafika echoes Archaeopteryx lithographica, earliest known bird. Artie, clearly from Ardipithecus, early hominin, first human ancestors. Agriston, Japanese Agasuda, linked to Acasta gneiss, the oldest known rock on Earth. Calamo, from Calamophyton, fossilized forest of the ancient world. What does this tell us? The sages of Age of Imprisonment aren't just guardians for that war, they're symbolic. Their names reference origins. Origins of life, flight, humanity, stone, forest. It's as if the very pillars of Hyrule's world are embodied in these sages. So, if Age of Imprisonment shows us the beginning of an age, then the sages aren't just characters. They represent ages of geological and evolutionary time. They hint the conflict we're about to see reaches far deeper than the war with Ganondorf. It reaches the foundations of creation. Next, something many fans haven't noticed, 2 Gerudo women who appear briefly in the trailers for Age of Imprisonment. They never get full focus. They are shown, but only in shadows, from behind or off screen. Who are they? My bet. They're the resurgence of Twinrova, those very names I mentioned in a previous theory. 2 sisters, 2 right hands, 1 ancient villain's origin. Will they play a pivotal role? I hope so. They may even be the final villain after Ganondorf. And if that isn't enough, let's zoom in on Zelda's handmaid, seen carrying a notebook in the trailer. She records Zelda's movements, logs her duties, shadows her every step. She's promoted as an ally, but she's never mentioned in Tears of the Kingdom. Why not? Maybe because she wasn't really an ally at all, but a liability. Maybe somehow that notebook ends up in Ganondorf's hands by some nefarious design, or by accident. And with those hidden secrets at his disposal, he is given the blueprint to create his Phantom Zelda that we see so much plaguing everyone in Tears of the Kingdom. Maybe that's how the puppet Zelda was created, perhaps by mistake or design. Only time will tell the role she truly plays. So, we have hidden players in the Age of Imprisonment story, the sages with ancient names, the unseen Gerudo sisters, the notebook-bearing handmaid, and even the mysterious construct who is totally not Link. They paint a picture of a war that isn't just swords and magic, it's secrets, identities, and from what I think could even be misdirection. So why does this matter for Tears of the Kingdom? Because if Age of Imprisonment shows the roots, it means Tears is only half the story. In Tears, we chase after a Zelda who isn't Zelda, we know it all, and is a clever deception created by Ganondorf. In Age of Imprisonment, we may see how those fractures begin, and perhaps the origin of how he devised such a clever deception in the first place. Perhaps that handmaid is the key to that failure. With her notebook in hand, the Twinrova sisters behind the scenes aiding him, it's the making of a perfect fall. Which also reminds me, the teasers make no mention of the Master Sword. Instead, we are shown a construct character who is definitely not Link. Wield a weapon that is very reminiscent of the one Zelda has been bestowed by Rauru. What is the power behind these weapons, and how do they serve to work against the Demon King? Because as we know from lore, only the Master Sword or the light arrows have the power to inflict any damage upon him. Hopefully, All these questions are answered and more. So here's the question I leave with you. When Age of Imprisonment releases, will we just see a prequel war? Or will you see the birth of a story that reaches into every legend of Hyrule and changes how you look at Zelda forever? Will new villains by game's end be introduced that will turn everything upside down? Or will we be given another hint of a cliffhanger like Breath of the Wild had at its conclusion, which may lead to another title in the Wild Saga to continue what is left behind from the past? That being said, I'm still working on my main timeline theory, but I took a pause so I could play Age of Imprisonment when it drops to see if it needs any amending, because I'm sure we're going to get a lot of lore that change things. Stay tuned for that. This is Sirlink. Remember to skyward strike that like and share button, and be sure to comment your ideas. And if you enjoy my content, be sure to check out all the other cool Zelda videos on the channel.